So welcome, everybody. This is Game Day, Birds Not Balls. I'm Micah Burgess. I am a birth doula in Waco, Texas. I'm glad you've joined me today. I'm continuing this little mini series that I've been doing of Know What a Doula Knows. You want to know what a doula knows? Okay, I've been giving you guys lots of great feedback on what a doula knows, and I hope some of you are getting a lot out of this. And if you're listening and you know somebody that is pregnant or is going to be becoming pregnant or in those childbearing years, then let them know about this little series that I'm doing, because I'm giving away lots and lots of tips and information, things that I know, things that I do and use for my clients. And I'm hoping this is going to be beneficial for tons of people. Okay, so today I am talking about approaching transition. Bum, bum, bum. Whoa, it's the dreaded transition. And y'all, transition is no joke. I will not sugarcoat this one. Transition is the devil. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, you guys. But everybody's got to go through it. And it's actually named quite well, because transition is going from labor, working and bringing that baby down, and it peaks and then it comes back down. That contraction does. And then there's a break. Okay. And this has been going on. If you have been in active labor, this has been going on for a few hours, more than likely. And hopefully it's just continuing to get more intense. Sorry to say, but if it doesn't get more intense, then you're probably not progressing. It needs to get more intense. These contractions need to do their job and work. And it is hard to get a baby out. Okay. So your contractions are your friends. Don't forget about that. So you've been in active labor. You've been maybe moving around, switching positions. We want to start pushing a baby out. So before that happens and we transition, air quotes, we transition from active labor to actually delivery, we have to go through transition. Okay. And this is absolutely, for most women, the hardest part of the entire birth experience. However, most of the time it is the shortest. So sometimes it's so short that I feel like my client just blew by labor, or they were actually in labor for an hour, because let's say they just got checked and they're 4 or 5 centimeters and maybe they feel, I'm only 4 or 5 centimeters. And then 30 minutes later, she's talking about all this pressure and now we're going to be pushing a baby out. Okay. That's insane to go from a 4 or 5 to pushing in 30 minutes. But I've seen it over and over and over and over again. So the transition is, my gosh, it's really, really hard contractions. They last for at least a minute or longer. And the other thing that's really challenging about transition is that you don't have as many breaks between the contractions. So you've heard people say they're like right on top of each other. Okay. And so that means no break. That's hard. And with my clients, when we're in active labor, that is one of the things I use the most, is to remind them that contraction is over. Take your break. Enjoy your break. Like, I literally say that. And they give themselves to this break. I'm okay. And that helps so much mentally, and you're saving a lot of energy. And so in transition, we just don't have the breaks that we had beforehand. And so that does make it super, super hard, and baby's getting lower and we're starting to push baby out. So it is hard. It is challenging. And so really at this point, I mean, you've already done all this work in labor, and you've already done all these probably very physical, tangible things to help with the techniques and the comfort and all the positions and bringing baby down. All of that is physically focused. Hopefully you've been nurtured well, meeting your physical needs. But at this point, you guys, it is a mental game for sure. You are not getting away from this one. Okay. There's no like finagling to make this easier or better. Okay. Physically, it's just going to be hard no matter where you are, no matter what position you're in, no matter where you're giving birth, no matter who's at the birth. This one is tough. Okay. So if you will go ahead and understand and agree with and decide, I'm not getting away from transition, believe it or not, that will help you. Because if you're trying to get away from it, you're probably tensing up, you're dreading, and you're making it worse. Okay. You are not relaxed anymore. You're tense. You're scared. You're frustrated, and you're making it harder on yourself. Okay. So go ahead and give yourself to, okay, can't get away from transition. This is going to be challenging. This is going to be difficult, but I need to get through transition so I can push my baby out. Okay. Also, this is really important, you guys, to know that once you do get through transition and now you're in the delivery pushing part, the contractions change. You are not having to do those very hard transition type contractions while you're pushing a baby out. Now that would suck. Ooh, that'd be terrible. So they're different. The contractions are very different. That you really do feel more like they are your friend. They're giving you that urge to push. They're giving you that power to push. Okay. So just know that those transition contractions go away. They do subside. They're not as hard once it is time to push. So that'll help you mentally know that there's an end in sight for those type of contractions. Okay. So again, like I said, it's a mental game. You've got to relax. And that feels so stupid and so silly. And you're like, are you kidding me? There's just no way. And I'll be really honest with you guys. This is why a support person can be so beneficial and so helpful, because as my clients are going into transition and I can see this huge shift. I mean, wow, everything just changed. Everything flipped. And most of the time, 9 times out of 10, my client has said something like, I can't, I'm done. I want the epidural. Somebody do something. I changed my mind. Oh my gosh, I can't do that. They are going to say something like that. Okay. So I know as the support person, and after I've done this for many, many times, I'm thinking, aha. Yes, that's awesome. That's great. That's what I want to hear. I've been waiting for you to say that. So I don't feel oh no, she's quitting. Oh no, she's done. She's changed her mind. I don't feel that at all. You just gave me a bit of information, a good, juicy piece of information that we are probably almost done. We're probably turning that corner, and you probably are going to be pushing your baby out soon. So it's good news. I want to hear that. So do not freak out if you're the one in labor and you're about to have a baby. Do not freak out at the thought that you're thinking or actually said, I quit, I'm done, I can't do this. Don't freak out. It's okay. Say it out loud. It does help to say it out loud. And so whoever is with you in the birthing room that is supporting you in some way or another, it can be the labor and delivery nurse, or it is your midwife or your spouse or whoever. Make sure they know and understand that it is okay if I say that. Like, don't automatically assume, go get the drugs right now. Don't automatically assume that. Continue to support me. Continue to work with me. Don't freak out. Hang in there with me. Okay? This is gold. I promise you guys, this is gold. Okay. So if you're saying that, if you're realizing I'm done, I can't do any more, now you really need to trust that your breathing is working. Okay. You've already done the hard part as far as I'm concerned in terms of labor. And now you're going through transition and you are on the home stretch and you're about to be pushing a baby out. Okay. This is where you've got to really dig deep and focus on your breathing. And so here's what I mean by that. So again, the contraction, you're not going to be able to get away from it. You're probably not just sounding like you would during labor, breathing through a contraction. There's probably some sound happening now in the transition part of going through a contraction. A lot of mamas will moan, ooh, that kind of sound. I'm not kidding. That's what they sound like. Or they hum, but there is some noise, or, oh, ow, ow. It's almost impossible not to be a little bit verbal and make some kinds of noise. Now, screaming and yelling is not going to help you. If you give yourself to screaming and yelling, then unfortunately what happens is that your mental game will suffer if you go to that. It's okay if you do. I mean, seriously, this is your birth. You can do that. And some moms recover fine, but most moms have a really hard time recovering from that when they let their mental game break down to that degree. Okay. So just realize that if you feel like you want to scream or yell, then be vocal in some way or another with the oohs or the ahs or this hurts or whatever. Okay. But again, relaxing. So there probably will be some noise or whatever, but that you're still only thinking about breathing. Try not to think about how hard that contraction is. Try not to think about how I don't think I can do this. Try not to think about how bad the last one was. Try not to think about how bad the next one's going to be. Be in the moment. Be very present and only focus on breathing. So when you take a deep breath in through your nose, which you've done now 1,000,000 times through labor, so you know how to do it, right? When you breathe in through your nose, when you start to blow out, and you might even be blowing harder than just the gentle blowing. And like I said, it might have a ooh or an ah. Think about blowing all of the pain out of your mouth. Like that's how I'm going to get rid of the pain is by blowing it out of my mouth. Okay. Think about that. One thing that I did, I wasn't planning on doing it, but I was told later that when I was in transition and I took in my deep breath and I started blowing out, I would wiggle either the tips of my fingers or wiggle my toes. I think I was trying to get rid of the pain out of my toes or out of my fingers. That's fine. But you're trying to take your mind away from the contraction part. You're trying to take it away from that and focus on the breathing as if the only, like it's your saving grace. Like it is your lifeline. Your breathing is what's going to get you to the end. If you'll think like that and hone in and focus on your breathing, you're going to make it to the end. That's really what I think. Unless you're like stuck and you've got this cervical lip and you are stuck in transition and you're going to be in transition for a long time. And girl, if I were you, I'd say, hit me up with the epidural. I am not going to be in transition for hours. That is no bueno. I don't want my clients to be tortured like that. You should not be in transition for hours. That's just my opinion. No. We're not built for that. That's too hard. I'm not telling you have to get an epidural if you're stuck. And I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just saying there's a good reason for doing it. If you're actually stuck in transition. Okay, so focus on the breathing. And when the contraction is over, it is really important to let it go away. I'll say that to my clients. Let that one go. Let that one come down. Now it's gone. Okay. And what you do mentally when you actually acknowledge it's gone, then you do inadvertently relax a little bit more. Okay, I'm done. Okay, good. Okay. And now you're taking your break, however short it may be. You are taking your break and you need to relax. A lot of my moms in transition, if someone were to walk in, they would think that they were sleeping. I know I'm not that good. I promise. It's because they have agreed and believed me that I need to rest between these contractions because it's coming. We're not getting away from it. It's coming. So I'm going to rest. And some of them too, like, I'm like, did they fall asleep between their contraction in transition? That's crazy. But that means they're doing what they're supposed to be doing and they're able to get through transition when they do it like that. Okay. Trust me, you guys. I know I sound like a crazy person, but trust me, it does work. If you are going to have somebody with you at your birth and hopefully it is a doula. Hopefully it is a really good doula that knows how to help you through all of the things that we're talking about here. But if it's not, that's okay. But if you're going to have somebody there with you, like a partner, then try to have them listen to what I'm saying or read a book or whatever to be a little bit more familiar with this, because it is important that your support person stays very close to you through transition. You need to know that you're not alone. And even though you're the one doing the hard work, for some reason, just having that physical person near you and close to you, it does help you feel stronger because you don't feel alone. Okay. So staying close, being very calm. If you're the support person, you need to stay very calm. You're not in transition, right? So don't get way up there where they are. Stay very level, talk slowly, talk peacefully. Okay, here it comes. Now breathe. Okay, be calm. That's going to help keep them calm. Encourage and affirm. So even in the middle of the contraction, if they did a good job really getting a good deep breath and filling up their lungs, then say, oh, that was so good. Now blow it all out of your mouth. Encourage them, affirm them. When it's over, oh my gosh, that was so amazing. You are so strong. You've got this. Okay. So affirmation and encouragement, super, super, super important. And then if you can, to help keep them focused, gently guide or even coach between those contractions. Like if you can tell in the middle of that contraction, like it looks like they're about to climb out of their skin and get away from it, then remind them, sink into that contraction. It's almost over. Breathe. Everything's good. That also helps them get through the contraction. That helps them get through transition, and remind them, home stretch. You're not going to be doing this forever. We're going to be pushing our baby out soon. We're going to be meeting our baby soon. Those are helpful phrases to get through transition. And again, if you guys want to reach out to me and ask me some more questions about this particular part about transition, or any of the other podcast episodes that you've listened to about what a doula knows, I want you to feel as prepared as possible. I want you to have a little bit more knowledge walking into your labor and delivery experience, because I want all of you to have a positive birth experience, and I believe that you can. Hey, thanks for joining me on Game Day, Birds Not Balls. You can follow me on my Instagram page at MyDoulaMicah. You can also find me on WacoDoula.com. Waco Doula is on Facebook. And if you like what you heard, you can subscribe, or you can find us on RogueMediaNetwork.com. Thanks for joining us.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.